She was called the Garbo of the skies, and in her time became one of the most popular and famous pilots in the world. She was as well known as Amelia Earhart, but sadly, by the end of her life, she died in obscurity. She is Jean Batten, the famous New Zealand aviator. Jean was born in Rotorua in 1909, growing into a beautiful and stylish young woman. When she was 18, the Australian flying ace Charles Kingsford Smith spoke in Auckland, and Jean and her father went to hear him. Jean announced to her astonished father that she was going to learn to fly. At the time, flying was considered a most foolhardy of pursuits. It was dangerous and unpredictable and claimed many lives. Her father thought it preposterous and had no intention of supporting her flying dreams. But Jean had different ideas, and so did her mother, Ellen. In 1930, Jean and Ellen left for London, the centre of the aviation world. Jean joined the London Aeroplane Club and started taking lessons. By December 1931, she gained her private license. She continued to improve her flying skills and eventually gained her commercial license, but was not interested in just flying for a job. She wanted to break records. Her first attempt was in April 1933, where she intended to break the England to Australia record held by Englishwoman Amy Johnson. This ended in disaster when she crash-landed in Karachi. Her second attempt was on April the 21st, 1934. This also failed. But in her third attempt, she was successful. Starting on May the 8th, 1934, she arrived in Darwin 14 days and 22 hours later, breaking Amy Johnson's record by 6 days. She was received with a rapturous welcome.
I do hope that by my flight to Australia and back again to England, I have done a little to encourage other people to take to flying and to demonstrate that flying is not quite so dangerous a sport or hobby as the majority of people imagine it to be. And I also hope that by my flight I have done a little to strengthen the bonds of friendship, not only between England and Australia, but between England, Australia, New Zealand, and all the dominions and colonies of our empire.
Jean's next long-distance flight was across the South Atlantic from West Africa to Brazil. A Scotsman, Jim Mollinson, held the record of 85 hours. She took off from France and after 2 stops in Africa arrived in Port Natal, Brazil in 61 hours and 15 minutes, almost a day faster than Mollinson. The public waited expectantly for Jean's next dramatic feat. Their next flight was to be England to New Zealand, which entailed crossing the dangerous Tasman Sea. On October the 5th, 1936, Jean took off from England. She made Australia in 6 days, setting a new solo record. Her second touchdown was Sydney, where she received a huge welcome. Jean took off from Sydney and arrived in New Zealand 10.5 hours later. Mass crowds of proud and ecstatic New Zealanders received her. This was to be Jean's final long-distance flight. She felt content with her achievements, and the flying world also recognized them, making her the first woman to receive the medal of the Fédération Aéronautique Internationale, aviation's highest honor. For the rest of her life, she lived very privately and died in obscurity in Spain in 1982. However, her achievements have not been forgotten, with Auckland Airport's Jean Batten International Terminal named in her honor.